Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, as the last video, I have my great friend Lainegard with me here today. You can describe what we're going to do today.
Yeah, sure. We're going to wing it as usual, so no frame fancy camera work and everything. We're going to just describe what we're doing basically and see what happens.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we have no fixed agenda or anything, so we'll see what happens. Last time I brought a pedal to Matthias. I got myself an old Dry Master from early 90s, I think it was. I was rather impressed by it. I mean, I've been using pedals for years, a lot of boutique stuff, you know, real high-end stuff. And then, you know, just by chance, I got a hold of this one and was super impressed by it. It sounded really, really good. Actually, I thought it sounded much better than most of the modern Plexi type Marshall-esque, you know, amp-in-a-box pedals I've tried. So then I went on a hunt or a shopping spree and got myself a Guvnor as well. And of course, this one, most of you recognize from the cover of Guvnor Still Got the Blues album. Apparently, or allegedly, he recorded the whole album with going through a Guvnor into a clean ATM 45, I think it was.
Okay, yeah.
So the whole album is no amp distortion, it's just this, basically. And also I think allegedly John Norum as well, of Swedish Europe fame, also recorded early solo albums with the Guvnor into a clean amp. And on tour, apparently, Gary also used a Soldana Slow 100, it was famous for that, but he never used a gain channel that. He used a clean channel, and again, a Guvnor.
Nice.
And some people say, you know, going forum diving, that these two pedals are like identical, and some say, no, it's a completely different pedal, etc., etc. What I've heard, and you be a judge once we start playing, is that they are very similar. You can basically get one to sound as the other. A little bit different drive character, maybe in the Guvnor, and it has a loop as well, which can be a nifty feature. I mean, if you use this as a lead kind of thing, you could have a delayed loop that as soon as you activate the pedal, whatever's in the loop also gets activated. I don't know if the loop is pre or post distortion circuit or anything like that. I have no idea, but I haven't tried it actually, so we'll see. And then Matthias borrowed from his brother.
Yeah, the Bluesbreaker. Looks brand new, almost, with some markings on it, but
also an early UK model. All of these are UK models, not Koreans.
Yeah.
And this is probably the pedal that started it all. Like, they wanted to capture the sound of a Marshall Bluesbreaker, like Clapton, you know, Cream, Mayall Bluesbreakers, that sound in a pedal. And then they came out with the Dry Master, which is more of a Plexi kind of hot rodded, almost a JCM 800 sound in a box.
Yeah.
And from what I've gathered from sources like online, and that's to take me with a grain of salt, is that these were so successful that it actually impacted the sales of their amplifiers.
Oh.
As most people want to buy these as an easy way to get that sound out of any clean amp, basically. So they stopped making them for a while. I'm not sure if that's the case, but they do sound great.
Yeah.
And then we have some modern, contemporary ones to compare to. First we're going to compare these ones, and then we're going to compare it with the Bogner La Grange.
Yeah, which is like a Plexi version. Yeah. You could get low gain, mid gain, high gain.
Yeah, it's all in one kind of box. We had the Catalinabread Dirty Little Secret.
And I think my brother said there's a switch inside, which has the super bass and the super lead.
Yeah.
I don't know. He thought that the super lead was the current mode that it's on.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna open it.
I've never tried this one. Also.
We'll me neither.
Caliber 45.
Yeah.
The Jrockett.
Like ones. A JTM.
Yeah, kind of thing. TC Dark Matter.
Yeah, I read somewhere that's a take on a Marshall Plexi.
Yeah.
And it's a favorite pedal of both you and me.
Yeah,
we like it both.
I've gigged tons of gigs with these pedals. They're really good, like meat and potato kind of distortion pedals.
Yeah. Last but not least, my most gigged pedal when I play with my hard rock band. It's the JHS and the Timmons, the AT, which is like a JTM 8 or 900. I never remember.
Yeah.
But it's quite high gain. I think that's the preferred thing. But first, the three Marshalls.
Yep.
So we're back and we're having some problems, so we'll do it again.
We'll do it again.
Yeah.
This time with refreshments.
Yeah, some like lemonade.
Let's call it lemonade.
Yeah. Soon will return. No, no booze in this. Now we have the 3 Marshall pedals in front of us.
We set them up pretty much at unity gain. The Bluesbreaker, of course, being a low gain pedal. We almost had to crank the volume on the Bluesbreaker. It's a very low output pedal, so if you bear that in mind, to get unity gain with one of these old ones, you pretty much have to crank it. So there's not a lot of volume on tap, whereas these were at volume at like 1 o'clock. So
yeah.
So let's go. Clean sound first, and then the Bluesbreaker.
No, we take the guitar first.
Yeah,
just the guitar. FGN Les Paul. I don't know why they call it like the neoclassic. This is the least neoclassic thing I've ever seen. But
I think that if you put the name neoclassical in front of anything in Japan, it sells.
Yeah, probably. We love Japan though, as long as you know. It's got the Billy Gibbons, Seymour Duncan, Pearly Gates pickups in this
Great
guitar.
pickups.
Have you seen that he's got new pickups out there?
Yeah, you mean
cream tea? No, the cream tea. There's a new brand.
Full
size. We'll talk about it later after the video.
This guy also always makes me have to buy more stuff, but the feeling's mutual. So
that's the same thing.
We're givers of gas.
Exactly. The clean guitar.
Bluesbreaker. Guvnor. Monster. Right. Initial impressions.
Those two are quite more similar than the Bluesbreaker, which is obviously a less gainy thing.
Yeah, for sure. Let's try a little bit of. We cranked the gain on Bluesbreaker.
Yeah.
Increase the gain on these two to maybe 1 o'clock. And let's try you playing soft and playing hard to see just the picking dynamics.
Yeah.
So Bluesbreaker first. Guvnor. Master. Yeah, I mean the Bluesbreaker now is almost max volume, max gain, and that's what you get basically. Yeah. So I see why they love it. I mean, Strat players get a lot of meaty tone because it has a lot of bass in it, so you have to crank the bass at like 1-2 o'clock on these two to match the low end output of the the Bluesbreaker.
Yeah,
which could be, I mean, overbearing in a bassy amp. So I mean, these are made to run into a clean, more of a Marshall-esque type amp, and allegedly, I mean, as we said, Gary Moore used these ones into a JTM 45. Which still isn't test basis, super reverb or something like that. Yeah. So cool. So let's see about. I mean, these two are really similar. Yeah. In my opinion. I mean, maybe the Guvnor is a little bit smoother. Than Dry Master, but they're very, very similar in every regard. And you could probably just tweak them to sound almost identical in a mix. But should we compare maybe then just the Dry Master with some other mid gain? Alterations, and then we go into high gain after that.
Absolutely.
So, but I mean, these three are all great pedals. We don't have a Shred Master here. That would be a cool comparison as well.
Yeah. Is that like their highest?
Yeah, highest gain Sisley kind of thing. But I haven't tried one. But to my ears in shootouts I've seen before, it sounds maybe if you compare the Boss DS1 to the metal zone or something like that.
Okay.
It's just a step that's over the top with gain and more high end.
Do you mean that the MT2, what is it called, metal zone, is over the top?
A little bit. Not for Gothenburg doom metal though. But.
Yeah. Okay.
So, all right, let's
go back with that one. So, back yet again with the AC/DC territory in mind.
So we're gonna go Drive Master, Bogner La Grange, Jrockett Caliber 45, and Catalinabread Dirty Little Secret. What we're gonna do is play softly and then hard, just to check that, sort of touch dynamic, pick dynamic thing. And for each and every pedal, and then we're gonna see what we think. So let's start out with the Drive Master. Launch. Thoughts?
I think those two are most similar in like dynamics and also sound.
Yeah.
And these two are
more similar.
Yeah, and less dynamic.
Yeah. And also these ones are way bassier than these ones. I mean, we have the bass and the Dirty Little Secret off completely down, and at only 9 o'clock on the Caliber 45. So these have way more bass, like going in, than these have. This has a structure switch, which is now set to the middle position, which tightens up the bass a little bit. If we had it on full, it would be more like those. So this is a very tonally flexible pedal.
Yeah.
But it takes a while getting into.
Yeah.
These are more like...
The structure is also like taking away a little bit of the dynamics.
Yeah.
So it's the middle position on that switch. And we use the low gain on the 3 switch gain modes.
And I mean the gain on this one is 1 o'clock, just as this one. So the low gain mode in the La Grange is very similar to the gain level of the Drive Master, I would say.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm gonna play some riffing on it.
Yeah.
So you hear me.
Yeah. So let's go with the Drive Master first and all 3. Yeah. When you play that riff, digging in more to the strings, you could hear the bass breaking up more on this one, even with the bass completely off. So fuzzy kind of sounding. Yeah. This one again more similar, I think. Yeah. This one more sort of pedal compressed. Yeah. Feeling maybe.
Absolutely.
So let's then pick up the high gain pedals. What they had, Dark Matter and the Timmons pedal. And go from where we are now into more high gain territory, maybe, and match them up and see what they sound like.
Absolutely. We should say also on the Dirty Little Secret, which is also on loan from my brother. It has a switch inside and the super bass and the super lead. We don't know which setting is.
Yeah, I mean the bass amount of bass in pedals suggests that it might be set for super bass now. I think.
We're not gonna open it and
No.
check.
That's not ringing.
Exactly.
So
so we go to the fiddly diddly also for you.
That's left.
Yeah, that's left.
Cool.
And here we are again with the like a little bit more gain than the last segment, which was AC/DC. Should we say Van Halen now?
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna go more than that.
No.
So we're gonna keep within the range of the Dry Master's max gain,
Yeah.
because otherwise we might well be comparing with Shred Master or something like that instead. So what we've done now is we almost maxed out the gain on Dry Master. I'm sort of gain matched with the La Grange then in the mid gain position, so this has even more gain on tap. The Dark Matter, we have that at maybe 3 o'clock gain, and then we have the Andy Timmons EHS at 3 o'clock as well.
Yeah.
EQ wise, I mean they're so different. This has more like a sweeping kind of filter. This has a bass and treble. And the La Grange has a tone control basically and some presence switches and stuff. So the only thing we did in the La Grange is increase the gain switch. That's it. Otherwise,
which is it on now? It's the middle.
Middle. Yeah. And still, like gain is like 2 o'clock. So just that jump in gain is enough to compare with the Dry Master maxed out basically.
Yeah.
So let's start with the Dry Master, and you do some riffing, and then you do some fiddly diddly as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then do some fiddly diddly.
Can never get too much fiddly diddly. Yeah. So Dry Master.
Don't say that, because most of the guitar, like, this is how it sounds. Oh, I don't know. I'm bashing all.
No feeling whatsoever. No feel whatsoever. So Dry Master.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fiddly diddle time.
No feel at all.
You did a bend there, that's feeling.
Yeah, true.
La Grange. Dark Matter. Timmons. Dry Master again. So, how do they feel comparison to play? I mean, not just the sound, but the response when you're playing lead with them. Are they similar?
Probably. I'm too nervous to recognize that. That's why I have the pro here. No, they feel quite similar, actually, to play. This one, when we played the riffing, sounding the worst of them.
Yeah,
I think that was a clear.
That's
thing
the thing with the Dark Matter, from my experience when using it live. Now we have the gain at like 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. You know, that sort of gain range on this pedal is pretty unusable. It gets really fuzzy. So usually what I've done when I use it live is has the gain at 12 and then stack it with another Dark Matter also with gain at 12.
Yeah.
Because that gives a tighter gain structure and response than just one pedal with higher gain set.
Yeah.
So pretty useless gain range up here.
Yeah.
But it's not bashing this pedal, it's just that
exactly.
Stacking it is better. It stacks great with other pedals.
Yeah.
Which also Dry Master does, as we experienced last time. We tried it, I'm not sure if it was on cam or off cam, but we tried it with a clean boost in front, which was great.
Yeah.
I've tried stacking this one with the Guvnor, which sounds like utter crap.
Yeah.
It's just a fuss fest. So, but a clean boost in front of any of these sound great, so that's the way to go with them.
Yeah.
And then this one felt quite compressed to my ears.
Yeah, and I have to be honest, it got like a, they say like a wattage mode, like a 25, 50 and 100, and it compresses the 25 is like compresses the distortion more. The 50 little bit more headroom, and the 100 is much more volume, less compression. I don't know which setting this is because I've never read the description. I don't know. I haven't tried which one we're playing through.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Cool. And then what do you think about the response when I mean, this sounded the worst, but I can agree it did. These two are still quite similar. I think the Grange a little bit clearer and tighter and more defined than the Dry Master, but I would never use the Dry Master with this much gain because as with the Dark Matter, the sweet spot on these seem to be at like 2 o'clock. After that it gets pretty unusable, so better to have it at 2 o'clock and boost it in front. Because then you retain the tightness and the distortion structure and character doesn't get fuzzy or flubby.
Exactly.
So that's the way I would use it. I would use a clean boost in front of it, or maybe a spark boost or an EQ or something like that in front of that, set to AC/DC. And then if I needed some 80s, 90s hair metal, I just put a boost in front of it and then stack it that way.
Exactly.
The Grange doesn't need that.
No,
I think it retains that tightness and articulation even on higher gain settings. So,
as we spoke of camera, I think the La Grange is a good pedal, but stupid design putting the boost after the gain, because it would be a lot more usable if it had the gain, the boost before the gain, so you could boost the gain as we're talking about. Then you can use the low gain mode and push on the boost, and you have 2 different modes on it.
Exactly.
But now
or at least have a before or off, pre or post switch for the boost would be a good design. But we'll see. I mean, talks are that, I mean, you've seen the Bogner Blue and Red get those miniature versions. If this is released like that, maybe they do something with the boost on a switch instead, sort of, because they probably won't include the boost circuit at all. So we'll see what happens then, because they didn't on the other pedals, so it might be that you have to use a clean boost in front of that as well. So, cool.
So if we're gonna do a last thing here, we're gonna play some
fiddle diddly.
And some Rickard riffing. Do you want to use this, or do you want?
Oh, I can use that one.
You fell in love with this one today.
It sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah. And he's using a green pick, and I'm using now.
That's the important. Yeah, definitely the Dark Matter sounded worst. Really fuzzy and flubby. That one quite compressed, quite mid-ranged heavy. Since you can't control the mid-range. These two both sound really, really good. I mean, the La Grange wins in this gain range. The La Grange wins it. In my opinion. So let's try some fiddly diddly as well, just to see how this sounds. Dry Master. La Grange. There you could hear that La Grange is more flubby in the bass. Because that's one thing I usually go by, not just the sustain, this has more sustain, but this kind of thing, the classic blues. And you hear how those two interact.
Absolutely.
A lot more flub.
And it's the fuzz effect.
But that you might not hear just doing like single note leads.
Exactly.
So I once again prefer Dry Master. So
in the bass. Bass part of it. Absolutely.
And it doesn't fall apart, like that one does. And of course that makes it more so that you could use this with a Strat, Les Paul. This one you might have to use like more of a Strat kind of thing to retain that bass response.
Yeah. And
let's try that in the tightest structure. Let's see if it's the same thing. Just the same thing. Just. Yeah, cool. Yeah, definitely help this one to have that in structure. I just wish you had a separate bass control for that.
Yeah.
Would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So?
Yeah, both these ones I could happily live with.
Yeah. If you find the Overdrive master or the Guvnor, you'll be happy for days.
Yeah,
and
for
the
that
Bogner,
kind of tone.
Yeah, and Bogner La Grange is very versatile. I mean, I've done more gigs on this one when I'm playing heavy. Do you call it hard rock or heavy metal in Europe? Because it's like a hot Marshall in a.
Yeah, but then with that you usually use like the Andy Timmons guitar, right? With the HSS.
Nah, not. I mostly play my PRS with that band. That's the guitar I have.
But those are both like tighter guitars in low, and this is way more like low end heavy.
Yeah, true that. And I always use a absolutely clean amp. So
yeah, like the Landau.
Yeah, the Landau Fender Landau is my gig amp mostly. Yeah. So do you want to try one more thing? I've got, since you have the boost here. We'll cut down
that's
on
cool.
the gain a little bit. I don't know how this boost sounds.
Yeah, let's try it.
Yeah, that's the last thing we'll do.
So back off the gain there. So let's just try without the boost. And with the boost. That's what I'm talking about. Stacking with the clean boost works much better than stacking with another gain.
Yeah.
Then you get a fuzz fest.
Yeah.
So this is, I wouldn't say it's the most transparent boost.
No.
Like when we tried the TC Spark boost, that was a way better boost for these pedals. So. But that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did we learn today? Not to shoot things with too high level into the camera.
Exactly. That's the first thing. Being a no pro like you, I'm a no pro. He's a pro, so I'm winging it, as we say here. What more did we learn? That the Bogner La Grange can do a lot that the Drive Master can do. The Drive Master is fantastic, and
I mean, it depends on if you just need that one tone.
Yeah.
This is hard to beat.
Yeah.
But if you need a lot of tones, like from very clean to very high gain, this one is hard to beat. Because of the Bogner series, like the red, the blue, and the Ubershell, this is by far, in my opinion, the far less compressed. Because I've had all of those pedals, and they sound great when you sit and playing like this. But in a band mix, they tend to be too compressed and sort of lost in the mix.
Yeah.
This sounds way more open and amp-like in my experience.
Yeah.
I would be happy with either of those.
Absolutely. One funny thing is that I switched out this one for my Boss SD1 Vasa on one of my boards. So we should have played one of those two. Next video.
Video.
No. Well, cool. That should conclude our video today.
Yeah. And when we find something else that we find interesting to compare.
Yeah.
Like this is just for our own amusement, basically. Yeah. So
I had a lot of fun last time, and I had less fun today because of the camera problems that I and audio problems that I ended up fixing for us or doing for us. So
you live and you learn.
Yeah, and if you have like an idea for us, write down in the comment.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we should like do something serious.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah, but and follow his YouTube channel. Not the most active, as we said last time too, but
it's there.
It's there, and he's got a lot more views than I do. So take care, everybody, and drive safe. Brush your teeth, and do your homework.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.